All right, this morning we are talking about problem solving, particularly helping your child solve conflicts. So last week we talked about kids fighting amongst themselves, right? And inviting kids to solve the problem. This week we're focusing on one child and how to solve conflicts between parents and kids. So parenting expert Cynthia Kriegman from Positive Parenting Boston is here to help us this morning. Cynthia, good morning.
Good morning, Melody.
Okay, so we're talking about this familiar standoff moment, right, between parent and child. I've got to be honest, in our house, the typical approach is pretty basic. I ask, and then I ask loudly. Some might call it yelling, and then I beg. And that, I mean, seems like you say it's not uncommon, but it's not effective either.
You are not alone. The fact is that even when we parents set clear expectations and give important information and offer choices, sometimes a child still might be very resistant to a particular task. And if that's a really important thing to us and they're not doing it, then it is natural to feel frustrated and to try anything to try to get them to do it. And unfortunately, like you said, yelling and threats and even bribes can sometimes make the power struggle worse.
Yeah, the bribing with M&Ms has become a big one in our household. So you have a different approach. Let's talk about it.
What I suggest is that parents start to notice that moment when we're just out of good ideas. And remember that our child might have a good idea that could actually work for both of us. The strategy has two parts. First, describe the problem to your child in a matter-of-fact, non-judgmental way that acknowledges her perspective and also helps her see yours. Step two is to invite your child to help solve the problem. A really useful phrase is, what do we do in a case like this? And you never know what your child will suggest. It might be very imaginative. It could be very practical, maybe even something that you've suggested to her in the past. And even if she doesn't say something that immediately works for both of you, it's good news that she's trying, because that's the foundation for a conversation between the two of you that will lead to the possibility for a win-win solution.
Okay, so you've made it sound simple with these two basic steps. Can you give me an example? What would this look like?
So a parent that I've been working with recently talked to me about how her 4-year-old was resisting going to the kitchen for remote learning in the morning. And nothing this mom said seemed to help. And she would end up dragging her child. Both of them felt very upset about this. And we talked about this strategy. 1, describe the problem. 2, invite the child to help solve it. The next time I spoke to the mom, she had great news. Here's approximately what she said to her daughter the next time it happened. Sweetheart, this is a hard problem. We're standing here in the bedroom. I hear your teacher's voice coming from the computer in the kitchen. What do we do in a case like this? Her daughter thought for a moment and then said, I'll be a snake. She got on the floor and slithered all the way to the computer.
Oh, wow. That's okay. So basically letting them come up with the solution, and it might be something silly or creative, but simply enough, it got the task done. I mean, it got her to the computer.
Yes, and relationship intact and child still in a good mood, not in the middle of a power struggle, ready to learn in this case.
Which is key. Cynthia Kriegman from Positive Parenting Boston, thank you so much as usual. Always a help. You can find her on Twitter at Tools4Parenting. That's the numeral 4. Cynthia, thank you.
Bye, thanks.